Well, first of all, I can say that I'm a person who embraces laughter and joy. I have a background in dance, so I can get into very deep conversations with you about ballroom dance, Zumba, and modern dance at the tip of a hat. I love being globally connected, and I've lived in a variety of places around the world, from the East, Midwest, and West Coast of the United States to the far eastern provinces of Canada, a short stint in Uganda, a longer few years in American Samoa, and a more recent year in Haifa, Israel. And I can also talk all things Alaska, having lived there for 17 years. I am happy to regale you with stories of the long days and even longer nights, how not to upset a brown bear in the woods, and the wonder of catching a year's worth of salmon each summer in the Kenai. The refugee Somali poet Warsan Shir said, "No one leaves home unless home is the mouth of a shark." All people deserve a home free of violence. The refugee community, when we talk about that, is really just a way to describe any individual who has had to flee not only their home, but their country due to a well-founded fear of persecution and violence. No refugee wants to leave their lives behind, but they no longer feel that they can keep themselves and their families protected from harm. So most of my career has been working with refugees and immigrants in this circumstance. From early work with individuals fleeing El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala, seeking asylum in the US due to gang violence, domestic violence, and government oppression that they were fleeing, to refugees from Laos, Bhutan, Somalia, Sudan, Afghanistan, Iraq, and more recently Syria, fleeing war, torture, and trafficking. But whether a person arrives from some distant geography or has come across the southern border, this work has overlapped always with domestic violence work. Our job is to help the person get their basic needs met with food, clothing, shelter, engage with community resources, such as benefit programs and school enrollments, and then find a way to begin again with new jobs, new social connections, and often a new sense of identity. Home should always be where we are safe and nurtured, where we have our most intimate relationships with our parents, with our children, with our partners. I have been drawn my entire career to ensuring that when home is no longer safe, that there is community compassion, but also that there is community action and resources to help individuals to move forward and establish a new home that is safe and nurturing. There is not a more vital step, in my opinion, to building social justice than to ensure that each and every person has a real home base first. CORA is built out of community connection and caring, grown from its grassroots history. I see in CORA a continuum of programming from hotline and legal services to housing support and extensive mental health services focused on making sure that every person in the community of San Mateo County has the needed assistance and support to build that safe and violence-free home. I am honored to be able to contribute to CORA in this new leadership role. And CORA's name is the hope I have for how domestic violence programming really affects social justice. Community overcoming relationship abuse. This speaks to a belief that the change comes from and with community. I am excited to see all of the different ways that CORA can continue to engage the broader community, all of you, even more widely and deeply, in helping us all to live in neighborhoods where there is compassion and equity, so that every person in every household lives a life of dignity and peace. Honestly, the quote that has always spoken to me from early on in my teenage years when I thought I wanted to be an anthropologist is from Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. It is this belief that has driven my lifelong desire to always be a part of a group dedicated to making the world a better place. That is absolutely what CORA is, and I am so excited to have joined this organization.